Hi, if you like this Orochimaru cosplay that I did on my friends, stay tuned. What is up, y'all? So this is going to be more like a time lapse with a very basic explanation of what's going on. So this is my friend Lexi. She's been featured on my channel before, in my TikToks and my Instagram. She's my best friend, so check it. We've been wanting to do like a coordinated cosplay again, and let me tell you something. This diva right here, she likes to get her makeup done. She likes to be pampered, and luckily I like to do pampering. So I was like, "Come on over. I'll turn you into what you want." She's like, "Let's do Orochimaru." I said, "Cool. I'll become Sasuke, and we can do like some coordinated look on that." So had her put on her wig cap. This girl's got hair. She got thick hair. She got hair growing all over. Kind of jealous. Is a bald templed bitch. A little jelly of that. But so what we're doing today, turning her into Orochimaru, as I said. So getting all her little hairs out of the way so that the makeup goes on well. I'm using an oil-based face paint this time. Come here. I don't know how to say the name of the brand. I don't. It's like Michaely, something like that. I don't know. Micron? I don't know. But lather it, or rather apply it. Don't lather it. That sounds gross. Apply it, and then I blend out with a brush, and then I go in with a beauty blender to get rid of any streaks. But the brush just kind of helps with even application. And for me, it's a lot more controlled than stamping with a sponge or a beauty blender. So this is what I opt for. Now, I've done her makeup a handful of times, so like she kind of knows what's going on. Like if I signal something with my hands, I don't even really need to say it, which is really nice. So shout out to Lexi. On Instagram, she's LR at LR cosplays or something like that. LR dot cosplays. She doesn't really post, but I post of her, so follow me. Same handle. And I, instead of going in with a gray, I went in with a black. But I only took it on the edge of the paint stick, and then I blended in with the white, really diffused it. And I did have her suck in her cheeks just so I can get that hollow cheek effect, and she's going to look like Voldemort for a second. And I took it up on her temples, as well as her jawline. Now, I had her put on a turtleneck, and that was my fault, but I rolled it down so I could get her neck. That way, it's cohesive. I didn't want to edit it in the photos later, so... Which, by the way, turned out really good. You should go check them out. Similarly, blending out with a brush, and then I took whatever was left over on my brush onto her jaw, just to kind of create more of a square shape. And then blending that now gray color into her hairline as well as more onto her cheek. So this was actually kind of a, I won't say easy look to create, but at the same time, like it wasn't nearly as technical as some of my makeup that I've done for a convention. So she claims, as of right now, that she wants to do Orochimaru at some point at a convention, and I honestly should be fairly doable, fairly practical. There are some long pauses in here just because I'm usually grabbing a product or, whatever. And then I am taking gray directly instead of mixing and just adding it where I needed a little bit more dimension that now diluted black could not provide. So I'm taking on her forehead, her nose. And then taking a concealer brush and just doing her under eyes, being very, very, very careful not to get it in her eye. And again, she trusts me, so she knows, like, just look up, don't blink, don't flinch. And then I am getting close to her eyebrows as well. Just get rid of any flesh color. And then going in with my sponge just to kind of get rid of any excess oil, number one. Number two, any streaks. I almost said strokes. No, streaks. Left over by the brush marks. Now, she does not have her contacts in, so I go in on her eyelid. However, she has more deep set eyes than I do, so I have to really get into that inner corner. She's so funny. And then I take baby powder and I coat her whole face in that. She's holding her breath while I do it, so she's going to get a breath every now and then. But baby powder, in my opinion, with the oil-based face paint is kind of the best because it absorbs any excess moisture and oil, but it doesn't move anything around, and it's a finite enough granulate that it doesn't like create a chalky effect or anything. Or I've never had separation with it. I did not mind it. Also, Orochimaru is like has quite a mattifying foundation or whatever he wears. I guess it's his skin, but his skin will have shine. So this is a good mattifying product as well. So I just took that all over, really got in every crevice that I could. I couldn't get right underneath her eyes just because I was afraid of irritating them. So left that alone, and it does crease later. Or it did crease later, but a little bit of editing and you can't tell. Taking some black eyeshadow and very, very much diluting it on my hand before going in and creating an inner shadow within the contour that I created with the black and the brown, or the gray. She's watching Haikyu, so that's why she's looking down. She's reading the subtitles, or maybe she's watching it in dubbed, I don't know. But either way. And then going in on her nose. Now, she's got a very, I'll say straight nose bridge. At least I noticed while I was using the contour brush. So it worked out really well for the face shape of the character. Like, she pulled this off so well. I know she just sat there, but still. Just proud of her. Just so proud of her. She did body it. She did body the aura, the vibes when taking photos and taking videos and whatnot. She did have some creasing in her crease. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I went in with my fingy and went in with some powder and mattified it, and now you can't see, but I took my Fix It Plus and I put it in an eyeshadow, and then that kind of became like a matte eyeliner. So I took a small eyeliner brush, I guess would be the word, and just kind of sketched out the shape that I wanted. And luckily with her, similar to me, she has more hooded eyes, but the shape when you apply pressure kind of creates itself if you just drag the brush along. So it was nice. And then I'm filling it in. You can't see because my shoulder is in the way. Me trying to adjust my camera again. Also ignore the fact that you can see a little bit of my room. My backdrop is not big enough, but I can't go any larger because the room at my parents' house right now is just, it's rinky dink. So we're vibing, we're working with it. And I did ask her not to open her eyes as much as she could until it dried down. So we got her a little fan. And And then I went in with a more rounded edge brush that's a little bit flatter. It's kind of like a wide concealer brush, but it's also got very short bristles, so it's easy to control. And I'm just sharpening up and rounding out and doing what I need to, as well as increasing the opacity on the eyelid itself. And I am extending that line. So again, I kind of sketched with the first brush and this brush, just going in and refining. Yank her face. Every time I turn around, she'd open her eyes. That's so funny. It was also hot as F in my room because it's always like 10 degrees warmer for whatever ungodly reason. Anyway, going in with some white again and just straightening out a couple of mistakes that I made, cleaning them up. Now, if you do someone else's makeup, you need to know their anatomy. With her, I've done her makeup before, so I know that she has 2 separate eye shapes as well as eye sizes, we'll say. And, like, it's not very noticeable when she doesn't have, costume makeup on. However, when she does, like, for example, this look, it was accentuating that. So I had to kind of go in and fine-tune the shape. So, like, if you're looking at her right now, her right eye, where my hand is, that one is, I don't know if that's a smaller one or not. I think that's the larger one. The other one's the smaller one. But still, it's not the right shape that I was going for. So we're just going to go in and fine-tune everything up. Oops. My timer. Going in with my finger and kind of blending out the edges if there's too much cream product. Or with a beauty blender, like so. Now I do wipe whatever excess that might touch the purple on the back of my hand. That way I don't kind of cross-contaminate colors on her actual face. Going in and putting some powder back on that so it doesn't move around when she's smiling or laughing or goofing off. And then right here I'm going to go in with an eyeliner. Now I'm more well versed with pen, however if you're doing this like on a stranger or a friend that's not comfortable with this, I would say use like a gel pot and a clean brush. However, I trust myself and she trusts me not to get it in her freaking eyeball. So she's similar to me where she has more of a hooded eye, like I said earlier, so I have to kind of extend out the wing, similar to myself, more straight than up. More straight out toward her temple. We're still having a similar anatomy, bestie. You already know how to do it. But this girl, she's so lucky. Her tear duct is visible. I have a fold of skin over that, so I can never do like an inner corner eyeliner look without looking a little crazy. So I was so jealous. I'm like, gosh. And then I'm not putting this on her waterline, I'm putting it right underneath. And then I go in later and I edit black in her waterline just because I don't want to shear germs like that. Like, that's gross. So we don't do that. And then taking some eyeshadow again. This is the part where I was adjusting and tweaking according to her eye shape now that I have everything else on. I didn't do it prior, only because A, color balance, B, shape, things that stand out more, things that are recessed, really come to life or come to light after you kind of polish the look a little bit more. So, and with this look, I'm trying to create heavy symmetry versus kind of going with her natural features, just because Orochimaru is a very technical character, makeup-wise. Very, very, not technical maybe, but very particular. So I'm just correcting any lumps or non-roundness that I see. I did bump her nose, or she did, or somebody did. So I corrected that with a little beauty blender. And then I was getting too hot, so she put the fan on me. I was starting to sweat off my my Sasuke curse marks. Especially on my neck, because I kept on looking down and turning my head. It's kind of funny. Now, ideally, I would have gotten her ears too. However, she, number one, doesn't like things that touch her ears. Number two, she had her I almost say earpods. Those are not earpods. Her earbuds in, and it just wasn't worth it. And plus, the wig ended up covering them up anyway. So, big whoop. And then I went in with a gray eyeshadow palette and kind of mixed a few colors together to get a contour shade that was appropriate for her nose. Just because I felt like if I put black there, it was going to be too harsh. I was going to say unnatural, but, you know, nothing about this is natural. You don't come to my YouTube channel for natural. And then taking the gray face paint and putting it on her lips, just because Orochimaru doesn't have anything going on his lips. But I still wanted something to be there. And ta-da! There is the final look. Doesn't she look fab? And that was a good wig. I got her off Shein. It was a good wig. Look at her. I was hyping her up. She got a little flustered. Now, I would say do the individual's eyebrows. However, hers was doing just fine. As is. So I just kind of edit them later. But thumbs up. Kunai up. And waving goodbye. So if you like this, check me out on Instagram and TikTok at Kate_escapism. I'll be posting this alongside with this, or those videos alongside with this channel's video. And yeah, so go take a look at the final product. Thank you guys. Bye.